Welcome back to YinYangTK, everyone. Again, today is our first day of our Kingdom Hearts discussion group. All right. I hope everyone is enjoying their Tuesday coming back from work. It's 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. It's already 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Uh, and then 6 o'clock probably in the mountain range, I believe. And then if you're coming from Hawaii, I think it's 3 hours before, so 3 in the afternoon, and then whoever else is coming in, uh, you know, you're more than welcome to arrive. So today, I am going to be talking about a little bit more of the Kingdom Hearts trailer that dropped on Sunday. I still cannot. I'm never gonna get tired of seeing that trailer. Even my wife actually was. I showed it to her. She's so excited. She can't wait to actually buy it and play it. And who knows what could be the limited edition, right? And already the merchandise that it's already gonna sell pretty soon, right? So again, like we are in a very exciting part of Kingdom Hearts, right? But unfortunately, I don't like to start out with some sad news, but it would not be justice if I didn't talk about it. And unfortunately, uh, it does have to do with the Kingdom Hearts community. It was reported today that Gilbert Gottfried, the guy that voiced Yago uh, from Aladdin 1, 2, 3, through the animated series. And also, he voiced it during Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, passed away today, right? My condolences to his family. And also, the whole Kingdom Hearts community is mourning because of his loss, because he was such a talent. I always remember watching his stand-up comedy, but he was just like one of the nicest guys ever. I think I saw him on a convention one time, and he was just the funniest guy ever. And again, I don't know, like it's gonna be tough, and I don't know if Aladdin is gonna be one of those worlds that we're gonna revisit again, right? Because depending on how Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to go forward, that's what we're going to be talking about. So again, I just want to say again, rest in peace, Gilbert Godfrey. Uh, you'll never be forgotten, and we'll always remember uh, your amazing voice for Yago, and will always be there for us. So thank you so much, man. But now let's go to the talking point, right? We're talking about if you're reading the title both in Twitch and on YouTube, and go ahead and welcome in the chat, right? Um, so Kingdom Hearts 1, did Kingdom Hearts 1 predict Kingdom Hearts 4? That is what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm actually going to break through Kingdom Hearts 1 for today. So, did Kingdom Hearts 1 predict Kingdom Hearts 4? And this is where I'm going to kind of break it down a little bit. And I was actually kind of wrapping around my head because the more I was looking at the trailer, the more I was kind of seeing, wait a minute, where have I heard all of these things that were talked about in Kingdom Hearts, right? So, you know, we're gonna drop it down. So the first thing I want to show you is I want to show you the very first trailer of Kingdom Hearts, right? So the very first trailer of Kingdom Hearts actually was in, I believe, E3 in 2001, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. I might be blowing some minds right about now. So I am going to hopefully show you why I think Kingdom Hearts 1 predicted Kingdom Hearts 4. And I think Nomura already had a plan in sight, but he did not expect how Kingdom Hearts was going to be this popular, right? It's a phenomenon. Everybody is losing their minds right now. I posted something on my Instagram, just a simple post about, Sora being Final Fantasied. We're going to make that into an adjective, guys. He has been Final Fantasied, and again, it- I only just posted it. I just put, something nice, and it's already over 1,000 likes. I think that is my first post to have 1,000 likes, which thank you so much again. So this is the first trailer that was ever posted of Kingdom Hearts. So I'm gonna play it for you guys, right? And I'm gonna kind of break down what it's showing. Because let me tell you something. The more I saw it, the more I'm like, wait a minute, this is what I heard. So you're gonna see some like really, really old um footage, right? Back when Square Enix was Squaresoft, right? So look at kind of the quotes right here. He says, "What are you so afraid of?" Right? What is it you really want to do? What's important to you? Oh, wait a minute. What's important to you, right? Those were some of the questions that you were asked when you were choosing your weapons, either the shield, the staff, or the sword. But also, if you remember when Riku went inside Sora's heart to be freed from the darkness, it says, "What is the most important thing to you?" And then also how Terra was talking to Riku about that. Don't be afraid, right? And don't forget, you're the one who must open the door, right? And it says right here, "I just don't know. Is this world for real or not?" Right? Now, this is the first quote that kind of jumps in, right? So if you remember in the trailer, right? Ah, welcome back, man. Welcome back. Sora got Final Fantasy. Take, talk to the people in the back. Please say louder to the people of the back. He has been Final Fantasy. So anyway, look at this quote right here. "I just don't know. Is this world for real or not?" Right? And I know you're going to be saying, "Wait a minute, Dustin," right? That's my name. Nomura was basically doing a beta test. He couldn't thought of this far ahead. Oh, I have something to tell you. Maybe he did know that Kingdom Hearts was going to be a phenomenon. That's why he was trying so hard for Disney and Square Enix, to form this alliance that is now Kingdom Hearts. So if you remember this quote, it's the same quote that you hear in a way, a little different words of how Sora began his journey. And then at the very end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where we see, uh, on the DLC, when Sora is fighting Yuzora, and then Yuzora is saying, "Is any of this for real or not?" Right? And he wakes up and he's kind of going through downtown Tokyo, probably Quatradum. I think we might see Yuzora in there. He might be having a connection there. And he could be somehow connected to Sora, right? And again, Yuzora, maybe that's not probably the way he looks, because he says in the DLC, "This is not how I look in reality." So I'm like, wait a minute. If he says I don't look like this like reality, did he knew something was going on, right? So that's the first thing. All right. I just don't know if this world is for real or not. And as the trailer goes, you're probably going to see a lot of the old footage. This is the beta trailer. Let's just put that in perspective. This is how they were showing it. And if you are any type of Kingdom Hearts fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Usually when they show you a trailer, it's not the finished product, especially a teaser. It's not a finished product. A lot of these things didn't even make it, right? So you see Olympus, you see Deep Jungle, you see Agrabah. And look, oh, wait a minute. What happened there? Wait a minute. Is that the Disney World? Is that Disney's castle? Now, if you had a chance to mod it or hack the PS2 game, you actually were models of not just Disney Castle, but also Jungle Book as well, and it had also Toy Story as well. So those were some of the worlds that they were kind of thinking of putting in there, right? But again, so let's continue watching the trailer, right? So you're seeing a lot of the worlds that you see the summoning, right? And keep watching the trailer, right? You're gonna see something that stands out, that is just something very interesting of how Quatradum is connected already to Kingdom Hearts 1 and vice versa, right? So you noticed Sora fighting with Donald and Goofy, and you see Donald and Goofy they don't even have their Disney castle uniforms, right? You see Neverland, you see Riku kind of walking there. You actually see that on the remix versions, right? So in the remix, it says, "You are the one who must open the door," right? So if you remember, that's the door that was on Destiny Islands, right? That has to be unlocked. And then the stars that are going out represents a world that is falling into darkness, right? And Traverse Town is kind of like the town that collects anyone that lost their homes but still had a strong willed heart to arrive in, right? And Traverse Town is like going, so like that's right, Sora, your body, your soul, your whole existence, they're all going to disappear. Look at that quote right there. That's right, Sora, your body, your soul, your whole existence, they're all going to disappear. What was the result of Kingdom Hearts 3 in that regard, right? This happened in 2001, right? Put that in perspective. You see that 2001, Kingdom Hearts 3, and especially the DLC, didn't come out until I think later in 2020, I believe, right? Around that time. So it almost has over like a 20-year difference, but yet Nomura already was thinking, you know, this is the actual thing of, he said it to many times in interviews, like, I'll just leave it to your imagination. But this indicates to me that he already had a blueprint ready to go, and that gives us a clue of what could be going on in the world of Quadratum, right? So if you remember, and I know for those of you, you probably, that's why you're here in this channel, you played Kingdom Hearts, all of the games, you know what happens, right? In Kingdom Hearts 3, originally, Sora and his entire, legions of light lost against the 13 darknesses, especially because of, Terra Xehanort, you know. But Sora actually had to go back in time, did that taboo to basically prevent that from actually happening and free other people's hearts. But he knew the cost. He knew that the cost of going back in time was going to be he was going to disappear from the realm of light, from that realm, right? He couldn't go to the realm of darkness, the in between, the data world, none of that. So this is a premise of how Sora was already predestined, that he was going to be a big player, not just a Keyblade wielder, but he was going to change destiny itself, right? So already you're seeing remnants of Kingdom Hearts 3 and a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 4, right? So his body, his soul, and his whole existence, right? His body, the first thing, what was his body? When was the first time that he lost his body? In Kingdom Hearts 4, right? Kingdom Hearts 1, I mean. And so in Kingdom Hearts 1, he lost his body, he became heartless. His soul, if you remember, was in Chain of Memories and also in Kingdom Hearts 2 when he was still asleep, right? And then his existence is now in the premise of Kingdom Hearts 3 moving on to Kingdom Hearts 4. And you can also add that his soul was going to disappear when he was failing that mastery of the Keyblade Master exam, because he's almost submitted to the darkness and he needed Riku to bail him out, right? They're all going to disappear, and exactly that's what happened, right? His heart was still strong. His body disappeared in Kingdom Hearts 1. His soul almost disappeared in Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, and then in Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, and then his whole existence disappeared in Kingdom Hearts 3, right? All of those things disappeared all at once, but yet somehow in the melody of memory, even though he can't talk, his heart is still connected to the people that are close to him, such as Kairi, Riku, Donald, Goofy, and Mickey, right? All right, let's continue on the trailer right there. Come on, guys. We have to save Sora. So this is the one thing that was very interesting as well. This is already a premise of different things. Number one, this was Chain of Memories when Riku and Mickey were in days. They had to, have Shion and Roxas complete, you know, everything, his memories, in order for him to wake up. And now we're seeing that this is exactly what is happening right now in the premise of Kingdom Hearts 4, where right now at the very end of the DLC, you notice that Donald and Goofy, they're traveling to all the different Disney worlds that Sora and them went on, and you saw it on the trailer where Donald and Goofy met Hades one way or another. uh Kairi is doesn't want to be, useless, and she wants to save Sora as much as possible, so that's why now she's being trained under Master Aqua. Terra and Ven are trying to go through the realm of darkness, trying to get any type of clues to see if they are there, and because they have the armor, their bodies and hearts won't disappear. Namine is trying to find some other answers as well. And then, in addition, Shion and Roxas are also investigating other things. Axel and Lee, they're also trying to not only investigate Sora, but also the girl that they were talking about, which we're going to get more information later on. And then another thing is we see other things where King Mickey is on a journey to look more of the lessons of the foretellers, and then also learning the lessons, trying to figure out more of the Book of Prophecies and the Lost Masters. And now Riku is going to head to Quatradum, figuring out how he can get Sora out of there, right? So here we see the premise. Come on, guys, we have got to save Sora, right? That has a lot of implications there. So this is why I'm saying, did Kingdom Hearts 1 predict Kingdom Hearts 4, right? And even Kingdom Hearts 3. So we're noticing a lot of things already, right? That Nomura already had this predestined of Sora's journey, right? Even though Sora wasn't supposed to be the chosen one of the Keyblade, because he was a different Keyblade wielder than anybody else, that made him special, and he put his own life on the line to help his friends, even regardless of the high cost, right? So, you know, that is basically and it says, please, Sora, don't go. And that, my friends, was the final nail in the coffin. And what I tell you, that Kingdom Hearts 1 did predict Kingdom Hearts 4, right? But we can go on. There's more than just this trailer right there. And I know you're saying, right, it's a beta. It's beta, right? What could they know about beta? Maybe it was different outlines, because beta games, they usually, they pick and choose whatever they want to do. But I'm telling you, this is a huge clue in kind of thinking what could be next and what could be looking for in Kingdom Hearts 4, right? So as the trailer finishes, look at that Kingdom Hearts, the way it looked, right? That's how it looked. It didn't even have a heart in there. And then that door that opened. And I have sneaky suspicion that that door in Destiny Islands is actually going to play a huge part of how Sora is going to come back to the world, to the realm of light. Excuse me. But so that's a little bit apart there, right? So here's the next part. Right here is the next part that that I want to add into the discussion as well, on the theories, right? So I want to also talk about the Ansem reports and kind of digest a little bit, because that also adds more into the realm of Quatradum, right? And you're, you're, I'm gonna kind of break it down a little bit, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. So I actually have all the Ansem reports. I'm gonna try to share that screen with you right there. And when you look at the Ansem reports, right, you're gonna see a little bit more detail of things that you might have missed. So as you go into the Ansem report, and I'll try to get it as close as possible. All right, there we go. So let's see. Give me one sec, guys. Okay. So the first Ansem report says, it says, much of my life has been dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. That knowledge has guarded this world well. Not a soul doubts that. I am blessed with people's smiles and respect. But though I am called a sage, there are things I do not understand. I believe darkness sleeps in every heart. No matter how pure, given the chance, the smallest drop can spread and swallow the heart. I have witnessed it many times. Darkness, darkness of the heart. How is it born? How does it come to affect us so? And as the rule of this world, I must find the answers. I must find them before the world is lost to those taken to the darkness. Right? Now, if you remember in the trailer that we were seeing of Sora being Final Fantasied, he has been Final Fantasied. Um, you notice that there is a huge dark being, probably a heartless, right, in the world of Quadradum. And if it's a world of fiction or even a reality, how did that darkness come into that world, right? It has to be, how does darkness kind of is able to transport itself even to different dimensions, right? Those are some of the questions that we should be asking ourselves. And look at the report too right here. It says, it is my duty to expose what the darkness really is. I shall conduct the following experiments: extract the darkness from a person's heart, cultivate darkness in a pure heart, both suppress and amplify with the darkness within. The experiments caused the test subject's heart to collapse, including those of the most stalwart. How fragile our hearts are. My treatment produced no signs of recovery, and I confined those who have completely lost their hearts beneath the castle. Some time later, I went below and was greeted by the strangest sight: creatures that seemed born of darkness. What are they? They are truly sentient beings. Could they be the shadows of those who lost their hearts in my experiments? So you remember that on the DLC of Kingdom Hearts 3, right, of Remind, we know that Ansem the Wise were conducting experiments, but also at the same time, when Terra Xehanort, you know, um, was kind of the apprentice of Ansem the Wise, he took it a step further, right? And we know that it wasn't just the organization 13 members that were getting experimented on, that there was another girl as well, subject X, as they say, test subject X, right? So that itself gives us a clue already to how these darknesses are affecting not just people, but it can also affect dimensions, right? Different worlds. And drop in the chat if you are watching this and tell me any type of theories that we should get onto, right? So I'm kind of connecting Kingdom Hearts 1 with Kingdom Hearts 4, but if you want to jump in, talk about another theory or anything like that. I'm gonna go back to the trailer. You better believe it. There's actually a couple of things that I did miss, kind of analyzing it now throughout the day. And we're gonna get to that, right? So as we go to the Ansem reports, we go to number 3. It says the shadows that crawl beneath the castle. Are they the people who lost their hearts, or incarnations of darkness, or something entirely beyond my imagination? All my knowledge has provided no answers. The one thing I am sure of is that they are entirely devoid of emotion. Perhaps further study will unlock the mysteries of the heart. Fortunately, there is no shortage of test samples. They are multiplying underground even as I write this report. They still need a name. Those who lack hearts, I will call them heartless. So we already know that. Let's go to the number 4. The heartless appear in groups. They are multiplying rapidly. I have proven them both living and non living samples. They responded only to the living. They seem to multiply after absorbing something from the living creatures. They prey vanishes without a trace. I believe the heartless are taking hearts. They are born from those who've lost their hearts and thrive on hearts seized from others. The hearts taken by the heartless become heartless themselves. Though I lack proof, I am confident in this hypothesis. I must also study the behavioral principles. Though they lack emotions, they do seem to have some intelligence. How to communicate with them? It just occurred to me, could they be the darkness in people's hearts? Right? So we already know that answer, where if there was no darkness in anybody, then the heartless would go away. But because at least one person has some darkness in them, heartness, the darkness will multiply, right? And there's even a bigger darkness when you look at the game of Union Cross, and then we looked at little bit pieces of Dark Road. We're going to learn more and more about what is this darkness, right? It doesn't even, we don't even know its real face. We don't even know if it even has a physical body being, right? So that itself is going to be interesting to report. So, Ansem report number 6, it says a massive core of energy lay beyond the door sought by the heartless. It may be the ultimate goal of the heartless, but what is that energy? I have devised a hypothesis based upon my observation of the heartless. The heartless feed on others' hearts. They yearn for that energy core. That thing beyond the door must be a heart too, the heart of this world. There is no proof, but having felt that immense energy, I am certain that was the heart of the world. The heartless are trying to take hearts not only from all living creatures, but from the planet itself. But what do they mean to do with that heart of the world? So, this also is another quotation that connects to Quatradum. And here's why: because darkness consumes anything, right? It can consume light realm, the in between realm. It can even consume even a lesser darkness. They consume the data. They can consume the world of sleep. And now, how is it that darkness is in the world of fiction, right? How is it that the darkness is in the world of fiction? And does Quadratum have even a heart to give to the heartless, right? We know from the trailer that there are people that are living their everyday lives. There is a hypothesis that there could be an actual reality, but how does this connect, right? How does the darkness go into the world of fiction, right? These are some of the questions that we need answers. And we have multiple theories of what it can mean, right? Let's go on on the Ansem report. The Ansem report number 7, it says, I am studying the material from the meteors that rained down on the fateful night. What a find! A material is foreign to our world. It is elastic to the touch, and when the two pieces are combined, they bond easily. None of the records have mentioned such a substance. Was it introduced to the world when I opened the door? I wonder how many other such materials drift through the atmosphere of this tiny world. I wish I could soar off and find out, but there will be charted worlds up there. My curiosity never ceases to grow. but I should stop speaking of such unrealistic dreams. For now, there is no way to venture outside this world. My people and I are all prisoners in this tiny place. So right there, you know that is not just uh, you know Xehanort Heartless, speaking, but also you're kind of also remembering young Xehanort, right? Young Xehanort that has this mentality of traveling to different worlds, right? So it says on number 8, it says, there is no doubt that the heartless are deeply connected to the people's hearts. Further study may unravel both their motivations and their mysteries shrouded the heart. As I start, I have built a device that artificially create heartless. By recreating the conditions that spawn the heartless naturally, I should be able to produce them artificially. This device is the culmination of all my research thus far. That machine's test run successfully created a heartless. This may be a step forward, creating a heart from nothing. The artificially and naturally created heartless showing near identical traits, but the two types remain distinct for the purpose of the experiment. So I'll work on the ones that I've created artificially. So right there, it tells you artificially created from nothing, right? Does that mean that somehow darkness was created from the world of fiction and already was in the world of fiction, right? In Quatradum, and somehow comes into the Disney worlds, to the Final Fantasy worlds, to the realm of light, to the realm of darkness, to in between, right? Because he built a machine that created Heartless. And you can see that from Kingdom Hearts 2, that the Heartless that were coming from Tron's world were coming in left and right from that machine, right? But then also, if you remember on Tron's world, think about that. On Tron's world, if you remember that dialogue where Tron is talking to Sora about a corporation that you made the system and made the CPU and all that stuff, that can also be part of Quadratum as well. So did the Tron world that was built by Ansem, did that come from the world of fiction from Quadratum? And how that darkness that came from Quadratum came in to the cyberspace of the Tron world of the Clue, and then came into Ansem's own castle experiment. You see what I just did there? It is just exploded, mind blown. How Quadratum has already been predetermined even from Kingdom Hearts 1, and you can also see it from Kingdom Hearts 2, right? Insanely, right? That's just more of me kind of trying to get the dots together. But again, these are just theories. These are just theories of what I am trying to explain how, Kingdom Hearts 1 is connected to Kingdom Hearts 4, and how did it predict it? Did it predict it, right? These are just things, right? Because how can you make an artificial heartless, right? Unless there were other powers in play from the beginning, right? Such as Quadratum. Let's continue. Ansem report number 9. Simply astonishing. Today, I had a guest from another world. He is a king, King Mickey, and his vessel is built from the material that composed the meteors. They call the pieces gummy blocks. It seems that my opening the door has opened a path to interworld travel. We talked for countless hours, but one story is particular caught my interest. That of called the Keyblade. The Keyblade is said to hold phenomenal power. One legend says its wielder saved the world, while another says that he wrought chaos and ruin upon it. I must know what this Keyblade is. A key opens doors. It must be connected to the door I opened. So right there, Ansem report number 9, right? So here, it could be two things. Number one, it could be Ansem the Wise actual research, right? And this is also a visit of an old friend. But then again, if it was Terra Xehanort, he should already know what the Keyblade is, right? Yes, there was a little bit of amnesia, but at the end, he knew what he was doing. He even knew, even when you go to Birth by Sleep, right? You see, uh, 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 Zigbar kind of noticing that it's like it's like you're Xehanort, right? Yeah. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was just playing dumb. But here in this moment, you're noticing that this could be written from Ansem the Wise because he wants to know more about that, right? So let's look at Ansem report number 10. Just as people have hearts, so do worlds. The same can be said of the stars in the night sky. And deep within each world lies a door to its heart. Heartless desire those hearts. Born out of darkness in people's hearts, they seek to return to the greater heart. Yes, that's it. The heartless come from the people's hearts, as does the darkness. Is the core of the world's heart the world of the heartless? I will pursue the answers there and become all knowing. My path is set. I shall seek out the wielder of the keyblade and the princesses. My body is too fragile for such journey, but I must do this. I will cast it off and plunge into the depth of darkness. So, right there, this wording right here, we already know we're talking about Xehanort, probably a younger version, but also if you remember at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts, when you see the trio on Destiny Islands and you see Sora talking to the hooded figure, that itself was when uh, Xehanort actually gave up his body in order for him to transport himself back in time, right? So right there, it shows you two things. Number one, he wants to know more about the Keyblade. He wants to know more about the darkness, and he also wants to know how he can travel to different worlds, and a possibility that, again, going back to Quadradum, right? So when we were looking at the trailer, we were noticing, people, like it was almost like the world of reality. But you see a darkness forming from the sky, come touching down. So already, why is the darkness there? Right? Is he looking for the heart of the world? And if there is a heart of the world in the realm of fiction, that itself tells you that probably Xehanort already has gone to Quadradum but didn't know what to call it, right? Again, as a theory. Number 11, Ansem Report. Opening the door to the world's heart causes its walls to crumble. These fragments are as seen as shooting stars. This explains why these gummy blocks can travel freely to other worlds. I know the catalyst of the collapse, the appearance of the heartless. However, it will take time to search out for the world's door and retrieve each heart. Furthermore, the doors can be locked using a keyblade, making the heart forever unattainable. I must take action before the wielder of the key appears to this world. If the princesses and the keyblade are connected, they should resonate. I have chosen a girl. I don't know if she holds the power of the princess's powers, but I will find out. She may lead me to the key bearer. I shall set her free and observe. So this is talking about Kyrie, right? And we know that famous scene where in Melody of Memory, Kyrie is kind of having that flashback where she's running away from those heartless, and then you see Terra Xehanort kind of grabbing her, very creepy, and then kind of sends her in this freaking tube to the world of the Destiny Islands. And then when she arrived, she kind of didn't was had a fuzzy memory, but she knew bits and pieces about what she was doing. So, again, you know these were steps that Xehanort was kind of making to see how far his experiments could take him to look at different worlds and also different dimensions, right? Ansem report number 12. My bad. The body is gone. The heart should have returned to the heartless, and yet nothing. This one is unlike any other. Its memories remain, and it has yet to take the form of a heartless. I close my eye. I close eye must be kept at the situation. Much is still unknown. To get to the realm of darkness, one must go through the door of Kingdom Hearts, the place where the world's hearts connect. Beyond the world is a place in which darkness reigns. Details shall be archived in a separate report. There are many worlds in existence, some of which we know nothing about, right? Some things that we know nothing about. The world in which we live, the realm of darkness, the realm of light, and the world in between. So those are the three worlds we're talking about. So the realm of light, we already know those are the Disney worlds: Disney Castle, Traverse Town, Disney Islands, so on. The world of darkness, that one is basically the Heartless world, the one where Aqua, King Mickey, and Riku were there for a very long time. When the first time the Kingdom Hearts closed its doors, when Sora and Mickey had to close the doors from each side, and then it's wherein lies the true Navara, right? So, see, wherein lies the true Navara is just another code word saying, so we know three of the realms, right? But he knows that there is another realm that is yet to be explored, right? Quatradum. That is the world where he wants to go. And then finally, this is the answer report number 13, the last one of Kingdom Hearts 1. Where does the body go when it separates from the heart? Its soul remains with the body. It is still considered to be deceased. When the heart returns to the heartless, the physical form disappears, but it merely is true in this world. Perhaps the body exists in another form in another world. If that is the case, then it is possible for one to exist in two worlds. A being that is neither darkness nor light, belonging nowhere, abandoning by its heart, a mere shell of its former self. The relation between the heart and the body is complex. However, I am certain that if you yourself exist here, by definition of the other cannot truly exist, the other one, the one which does not exist, shall be dubbed a nobody, right? I know what you're thinking. This report is talking about nobodies, right? But look at that quote again, right? If it says, when the heart returns to the heartless, right? It says the perhaps the body exists in another form in another world, right? It is a possibility that it exists in two. A being neither of darkness nor of light, belonging nowhere, abandoned by its heart, and a mere shell of its former self. That itself, that quote, is basically the premise of Kingdom Hearts 4 and also the last part of Kingdom Hearts of the DLC Remind. Because, again, Sora lost his heart in a way, right? His heart was still strong, but he lost his heart because he lost badly against Terra Xehanort, right, for the first time. But then he goes back, but his soul was still intact. His mind was still intact because he still had a strong soul. That's the one thing he did not miss. And when he's in that final world, right, that final world where it's nothing but clouds, you notice the stepping stones, things like that. He's basically collecting bits and pieces of his heart to become whole and be able to travel back in time to change it. So what does that mean? So that means that Sora, you know, gave up his heart, gave up his body, almost gave up his speech as well. But somehow, in the melody of memory, when Kyrie is going back to her memories of her heart, and she's about to fight a kind of like a data version of Xehanort, you know, Sora comes back right within her because Sora is still connected. So what does that mean? That means that Sora is not just in Quadratum, but is also a part of Kyrie in her heart. But he cannot speak because his heart, his soul, and his mind are basically preventing Sora from speaking directly to the realm of light. Hence, that at the moment that Kyrie is fighting that Data Xehanort in Kyrie's mind, in Kyrie's heart, Sora is in Quadratum and is at two different places at the exact same time, right? Not neither belonging to the darkness and neither belonging to the light, the world of fiction, Quadratum. That itself blew my mind right there. That blew my mind. So again, did Kingdom Hearts 1 predict Kingdom Hearts 4? I will say yes. It has to be a yes. It has to be a definite yes but I have to kind of back up a little bit and say it may be by chance. But then again, Nomura is one of those top designers and storytellers that is kind of hard not to discredit him of kind of moving far in advance of knowing that Kingdom Hearts was going to be such a phenomenon, right? So that is a little bit of the Ansem report, right? And the more you see it, the more kind of it makes sense how, you know, how Sora, even at the beginning. So let me take this off. Let me take off the Ansem report for a while, right? I'm going to show you a little bit of bits and pieces of Kingdom Hearts 1, the real game, and show you how it connects to Kingdom Hearts 4 and Quadratum, right? So let me get that out of the way. I'm trying to get this freaking, uh, you know, I'm trying to get this commercial out of the way. So many commercials in this YouTube. I'm telling you, man. But drop in the chat and tell me what you want to discuss regarding Kingdom Hearts, a little bit of the theories. And I'm actually going to go back to Kingdom Hearts 4 on the trailer and kind of go back to some of the things that I did miss, right? So, uh when you go to the Kingdom Hearts, right? You see him kind of falling, right? And he says the famous lines is like, I've been having these strange thoughts lately. Is this any of this for real or not? Right? So let's look back to that moment, right? So look right there. Look right there, right? From the very beginning.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Hmm?
Like, is any of this for real or not?
Right there. Huh? Right there. Right there. Right? Exactly what I'm talking about. Is this any of this for real or not? Right there. Interesting things right there. Right? And then if you noticed at the very end of Kingdom Hearts, the secret ending, right, where you see a couple of things. So let me show you right here. Let me see if I can go further so you know what I'm talking about. So hopefully they have the secret ending. So I'm trying not to get any type of copyright infringement, but hopefully they have it at the end. So you already know, Mickey and Riku are trapped on the realm of darkness. So now they have to look at the door to the light, which goes to the chain of memories. Hopefully they have it. They should have it. If they don't, shame on them. But then I'll find it. So they might not have it here. They might not have it here, guys. So let me get to that let's see secret ending, because that also adds a little bit of perspective on Quadratum, right? And here's why. I'll tell you, but it's better for me just to show you how it does it. So let's see. All right, I got it. So let me share it with you guys. Let's see. Give me one sec. Come in one sec. Trying to get that secret ending ready to go. All right, let's go. So let's go here. So it says a secret, another side, another story. So we know that this is the famous scene of Roxas and Riku fighting, duking it out, right? This is the first secret ending for Kingdom Hearts. The only way of doing that is if you had the 101 Dalmatians stuff, and we already know that this was the premise of of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, of Days, and also before Kingdom Hearts 2. And you know where Sora, right? Again, other things, Door to the Light, Behind the Darkness, Endless Nobody. You see some more words. I forgot what that meant there. It says this world. It says his voice, I can't hear it anymore. We have come for you, my liege. You are the source of all heartless. It says maybe our journey is meant for nothing after all, right? It says his voice, I can't hear it anymore. I don't hear it anymore. That's one of the things that I was telling you about, that his voice, I don't hear it anymore. That is space. I feel like that was Kyrie talking about it in Melody of Memory going into Quadrantum, that once that Sora starts, waking up in Quadrantum, you can't hear him anymore. It says, can we do it against that? What is this place? What is this place? Quadrantum right there. We'll go together. Right? And then it's Kingdom Hearts. And then you see that famous scene of Kyrie, growing up. So again, this is a discussion. This is a good discussion of, how Kingdom Hearts 1, in a way, did predict Kingdom Hearts 4. If it was by chance or just by accident, it's just still awesome to see how it happened, right? But what about you guys? What do you guys think in general, right? And I'm gonna actually go back to the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, because there's like a lot of other things that I wanted to kind of dissect a little bit. And here's why, right? We're actually gonna go through a little bit of bits and pieces. So let's see. So give me one sec, guys. Let me get that share screen. Let's see, announcement. There we go. So we got the Lost Masters arc. So first things first, you notice that you're in a building. It'd be funny if we're talking about the Square Enix headquarters. We know that it's it is a building of a great importance. Has to be, or else they wouldn't be showing it. Now look here. If you notice on the very top, kind of top corner right here, you're noticing kind of these symbols right here, right? Are these symbols somehow connected to the world of fiction, or are these signs kind of connected to all the different realms? Again, the realm of light, the realm of darkness, the realm of sleep, the realm of in between, the data world, and now the world of fiction, right? And now we're seeing the darkness that is kind of swirling inside. Same thing as like what happened in Kingdom Hearts 1 in the Destiny Islands. Look at that. This darkness that is forming on top is the same way it happened on Destiny Islands, right? So is Destiny Islands and Quadradum somehow connected, right? That's kind of where I'm going with this a little bit, right? Because it has the exact same formation, the way. And look, it says the heart resides within the soul, which in turn is guided by fate to its rightful place, right? So again, like I was talking about, where Sora lost his soul, he lost his heart, he lost his body, but now his soul and heart are somewhere else, in that place is Quadratum, right? Now this actually is one of the things that I missed last time of my reaction. And tell me if that looks a little bit familiar of something. Does that look, guys, like a Star Wars world? A Star World, a Star Wars world, right? Does that look like it? It almost looks like it to me, just a bit. It almost looks. It has an uncanny. Wait a minute. Look at the look. Wait. There's something we missed right there. Look at that. Look at that top right-hand corner. I don't know if that's a rock or is one of those Empire robots. You know which ones I'm talking about, right? It has a very uncanny resemblance because if we're talking about a forest, right? It has nothing to do about cities because a forest is not anywhere near a city, right? So we already know that Sora woke up in an apartment, not in a forest. But is this part of the connection between the Destiny Islands and also Quadranum, right? So look at that. And then another thing right here, the chess piece. So Scarlet Acclaim is going to play a major part in Kingdom Hearts, right? And then we already know Sora being Final Fantasied. He's been Final Fantasied. You know which one I'm talking about, right? And then you notice Strelitzia, right? So we know that the thing is, how is she able to communicate from that world into the final world, right? That's the thing. And if it's so, how can Sora do the same thing to his friends, to Kyrie, to Sora, to Donald and Goofy, right? Those are some of the things that we have to kind of figure out, right? That when we have to also speculate. So this is Quadratum right here. We already saw the, this is the same way how, the darkness appeared in Destiny Islands, because the other darknesses didn't appear this way. This has the exact same deja vu of, you know, of that Heartless that was in the Destiny Islands. Except this is a little bit different because this one actually has a freaking mouth that opens, right? The other one didn't. It was just like, uh, you know, didn't have a mouth, did have a little bit of wings and stuff, and it was just punching stuff. So this is more of an evolved form of that Heartless. I think it's like a higher level. So you notice that Sora knows what's going on, knows it's a Heartless. There's no, it's a Heartless. It's a Heartless. You can tell exactly because of that heart shape on the middle of his stomach or chest that it is a Heartless. And we don't know, what other darknesses are also there as well. Because if this is the realm of reality, how is it that Sora still is able to use a Keyblade? Is the Keyblade able to travel to different dimensions? Right? And again, as we saw in the Ansem report, we're noticing that the Keyblade is one of the most mysterious weapons, but also one of the most, uh, you know, one of those weapons that is also like a dimensional uh travel item as well, because Keyblade can travel, you can travel through the space, you can travel to the world of darkness, you can travel to the data space, you can travel to the realm of in between, and now it can actually travel into Quadratum. So very, very curious, to say the least. But what about you guys? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that do you guys think, like the way I explained, that Kingdom Hearts 1 somehow did predict Kingdom Hearts 4, right? And I know a lot of people that I was talking to, they were kind of, you know, saying yes, but it's all accidental. You never knew what Tetsuya Nomura is thinking. Maybe it's just coincidence that those things that we noticed on the beta trailer, on on the secret ending, on the Ansem reports, those are just coincidences. But yet, destiny is never left to chance, and there is no such thing as coincidences. Based on Xehanort's explanations time and time again. Everything is already predetermined, but then again, Sora defied the laws of destiny. And even though he sacrificed himself for the greater good, he is the example that the impossible can be possible. So there we have the connection of Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 4. Right? So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this theory that I have? Right? This huge big theory that I have. Write your comments below. I am happy to discuss it with you into the fullest. I'm also going to do another discussion panel probably next week and talking about Kingdom Hearts 2, how Kingdom Hearts 2 probably also predicted Kingdom Hearts 4 in some way or another as well, because I did find in certain times in the game where there were a little bit of clues already talking about a world of fiction of Quatradum, right? And maybe there was a way of where Xehanort actually traveled to this world, right? And then in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a lot of clues because Kingdom Hearts 3 already is very connected to Kingdom Hearts 4, right? So again, I hope I didn't you know, made your minds explode as much as possible. I hope not. But this is fun. This is fun. This is all, all for good fun right here. So again, uh a lot of things are happening right now that we have to be excited about. I even though it's only like 2 minutes of this, there's just so much to break down, so much speculation, so much theories, so much excitement about Kingdom Hearts 4. And I know we're only in the very beginning of the stage of development, right? Just to kind of give you how Kingdom Hearts 4 right now is being kind of displayed a little bit. I'm actually going to show you what is being actually translated and how is it um in a way being perceived here in the States, right, from their actual Square Enix sister branch here in the States, right? So, as you can see, it says Kingdom Hearts 4 is in development. Sora's next adventure starts with the Lost Masters arc, right? A brand new mobile game is on the way. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link plus the final chapter of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road coming. So this was updated Sunday, April 10th around 5 a.m., right? So that was 5 a.m. I think Eastern time, if I'm being honest. But then again, we do have a headquarters here, or a sister branch here in Los Angeles. So I would think it's probably 5 a.m. Pacific time. So we already see Sora being Final Fantasied, right? It says, "Attention, all Keyblade wielders! Kingdom Hearts 4 is on the way." The newest installment in the beloved RPG series was officially announced as part of the 20th anniversary celebration of Kingdom Hearts franchise. Set Sora and his friends Donald and Goofy on a brand new adventure titled The Lost Masters Arc, right? As well as Kingdom Hearts 4, the team has also announced a brand new action RPG mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, which features an original story of its own and the final chapter of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road app, right? It says there's a lot of discussions about both new projects and the latest chapter revealed. So let's dive into the heart of the matter. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. You guys are so funny. So it says Kingdom Hearts 4, the next mainline game of Kingdom Hearts series, is in development now. It launches fans into a thrilling new action-packed experience. After the climactic events of Kingdom Hearts 3 and its Remind DLC, fans have wanted to know what's next for Sora. As the trailer reveals, the Keyblade wielder is back in a new setting we're all excited to learn about, right? So it gives you kind of like a couple of screenshots of Sora. And look, he lost his shoes. No more of those big shoes, those big Mickey shoes. Now it's just regular shoes, which is actually going to be a little bit of a change. I might have to get used to this new Sora. And if you noticed here, I'll try to get as close as possible, right? Let's see. Let me get this out of the way. If you noticed here, on the bottom right hand corner, you kind of see Sora's, uh, HP. You see the MP, which is his magic, and then you see his XP, EXP, meaning I think he can change forms just like the other games as well. So I wonder what type of forms we might be seeing in Quadratum, and also, is there a possibility that there could be Final Fantasy characters in Quadratum? I will be happy to see it. I think one of the big names that a lot of people are asking for is the main character from Kingdom Hearts 15, I believe, Noctis. Noctis could be one of them. We can also see maybe we can also revisit Cloud. Maybe Sephiroth could happen right there. Another one is let's see, some Final Fantasy. I'm just gonna like Google really quick a couple of Final Fantasy characters right here. Um, let's see, main characters. Just thinking like what main characters could possibly be in Quadratum. So we know Noctis could be one of them. Uh, uh, Tidus can be it because Tidus is actually in the Destiny Islands, so I don't think it could be him. Cloud, I said it could be one of them. Zidane could be, that'd be an interesting one. Tara Branford, that could be a good one. Lightning, how about Lightning? Would you guys like Lightning in Quadratum? That would be a pretty cool, you know, person there. Or we can actually see one of the bad guys from Final Fantasy. It'd be pretty cool if we can see that, right? Tell me on the chat, what do you think of a possible, you know, uh, bad guy uh, from Final Fantasy? Then you see uh, another screenshot where you see that Sora's actually using the back of his keyblade and using it as a chain hook, right? That's the thing that blew me away right there. And it says, in addition to catching Sora's stylish new look, you'll see him face off a dramatic boss battle against a giant enemy in Quadratum. This large, expansive city is set in a gorgeous, realistic world that is unlike anything you've seen before in Kingdom Hearts series. So, and then you see Donald and Goofy kind of traveling right there, and we already know Hades was the person that caught him. It is Sonic's iconic and much loved companions, Donald and Goofy, make a brief appearance, and the trailer also features Strelitzia, a mysterious new character to the mainline games, first introduced in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. So if you don't know who she is, I highly recommend looking at the cutscenes of Union Cross. Oh, it made me cry. Oh, it made me cry, and I know it's gonna make me cry again when I go back to all of the games. And then that's all we have for now. So let the speculations begin. That's so funny. And you kind of see the two hooded figures. I know one of them has to be the Masters of Masters, and then the other one, Lucio. Like those are the only hooded figures that I should know because the rest of the members of the organization disappeared or probably went back to their heart. And Lorium could be one of them, but I don't think he'll be a hooded figure for sure. And then you see a brain, you see that, and then these are some of the other screenshots from Missing Link. And you remember this guy right here, this Heartless that Sora fought for the first boss battle that he fought in Destiny Islands. Excuse me. He comes back with a vengeance in Quadratum, so he looks much more crazy. So we might not see a Donald or Goofy in Quadratum, if I'm being honest. So I think this would be a perfect opportunity not to see Donald and Goofy in Quadratum. I think it's going to be mostly Sora orientated, but somehow I don't know how Sora is going to be able to come back because even the Masters of Masters says when you come into this world, you can't go back to the world you came from. But then I'm thinking, well, he's saying that, But how is he and Lucio able to travel to that world and still be able to travel to all the different worlds, the realm of light, the world in between, the realm of darkness, the Disney worlds, the Final Fantasy worlds? How are they able to do that? And the answer is the Keyblade. The Keyblade itself is the answer to all of those questions, right? So again, I really, really hope we'll get maybe a second trailer on D23. I hope it is, right? It would be pretty cool, and it would make sense. Even if it's not like as long as this one, maybe just a small teaser. I think it would be pretty cool just to see it. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining in the discussion, for allowing me to share my theory of how Kingdom Hearts 1 predicted Kingdom Hearts 4 in certain areas of the game, the trailers, and then a little bit of the secret ending as well, right? And if you have a theory yourself that you want to share and that you want me to kind of look through, please, I would love to hear it in the chat. I would like to hear it on the comments below as well. Any type of theories that you guys come across of, no matter how crazy you think it is, maybe it's not crazy. Maybe you're onto something. Just like how I did the reaction to Kingdom Hearts 4, where I said that, where one of the people in the chat said that maybe this is not the world of fiction, but this is the reality. And Sora was actually living in a fictional world of Disney, Final Fantasy, and now he's back to the world that exists, right? So we just had all that discussion. So really, really, really cool stuff. I just want to say thank you to all of the Kingdom Hearts community for dropping by to my channel. And again, I will love it if you guys put a like button, share with your friends, anyone that is a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I will really appreciate it as well. Also, I would like to announce that I will be also opening up a Patreon probably later this week or by the latest next week, because if you want me to put more content of Kingdom Hearts and so on, I would really appreciate it, just for the help. Anything that you guys can do is always appreciated, and I will also give a big thanks to anyone that goes to my Patreon at a later date, and I will make sure that I will uh, say a big thank you at the end of every single video, um, every single time. So I want to say thank you guys for joining me in this awesome discussion of Kingdom Hearts. And again, like I said, if you like the content of this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm always posting weekly videos on my channel. I'm not just talking about Kingdom Hearts, but I'm also be talking about other games as well, like such as Pokemon, like Call of Duty, Kirby, Nintendo games, PlayStation games, Xbox games, like you name it. And also, I'll also be talking about, um, anime and also mangas that we should all be reading, especially if you are interested in learning more about Kingdom Hearts, things that you do not get in the video game. I highly suggest you guys read the novels and even the manga, because you get a lot of big details that you wish you knew, and it's all canon to the Kingdom Hearts universe as well. So I want to say thank you guys for joining in the chat. You guys are awesome. I love you guys for bringing the awesome energy into the Kingdom Hearts fandom. And right now, all we can do is anxiously wait for more news to drop from Square Enix, from the Kingdom Hearts team. And then we can all just put more and more theories into practice, right? And I will always say it again, guys, may your heart be your guiding key. All right. So stay awesome, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, please leave a comment below about what your theory is. Do you agree with my theory? Is my theory a little bit crazy? Is it not crazy enough? Write it down. I would like to know. All right. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining into the chat. make sure to follow me to any of my social media accounts. You can see them below. You can just go at YinYangTK on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and also you can watch my stuff on YouTube every single week. All right. So I would love you guys to support my channel as much as possible so I can continue giving you good quality content. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Again, stay awesome.